Another stage vote tie, huh? Well, there's no need to panic. My bro's got this covered. And sure enough, between keeping our cool or being terminally online, today he decided he's gonna break the tie by breaking the ice. Let's slay Frosty.
Walrus! Ready!
That sure is the hollowed-out frozen corpse of Blizzard Buffalo in the background. Yikes. What a sight to see right when you start the stage. There are a few enemy types here to deal with in the outdoor half of this level. The first that we want to talk about are those little snowmen, because you saw that one try to slide forward a little bit before we took him out. If we leave him around long enough, he will use a small rocket-powered boost while on his belly to slide forward, and then spontaneously explode. Weird. At least until you realize what their name is. Yukidarabon. Yukidaruma means snowman, and bon is an onomatopoeia, you know, like how bzz is for bugs, for an explosion. Makes sense, but that explosion is so tiny that it's not going to hit you. The ground isn't slippery here, but once we get onto the ramp coming up, that's when it starts getting like that again, because these are sheets of ice. On them are not beret S's, the S probably standing for the snowboards they're on. All they do is try to take a pass at us, but I'll pass on that. Instead, move on up and take a look at the nice sights at the top of this glacier, which holds an EX tank. Instead of starting a stage with 2 extra lives, now we get 4. So that's nice. I mean, it's more for people that are new at this game than our run, but you know what? Gotta show it off. The last enemy type in this stage are those snowmen that you see there, and they are called E. That's E-AT. They can swipe spiked ice balls at us, or if we get too close, they will do that. They send a large set of spikes along the ground at us, kind of like Frostman's Ice Wave from Mega Man 8. It has a decent amount of range, and vertically it would have hit us had we have been right next to the ledge beneath them, so be mindful of that. That's why we kept dashing back a little bit to make sure we took our time and got the hits in. Oh hey, that's Chill Penguin in the background too. Not as creepy of a sight there, because he's Chill Penguin. This mini-boss, when he goes flying up off the screen, he is going to try to drop straight down on you. By the way, the stalactites above you are going to fall when he lands. He can also charge at you, and Zero's yeah just saved us, so thank goodness there. As you'd expect, the fire weapon's going to work very well on the ice stage, because we're not playing Mega Man 1. In the second half of the fight, or at least once we've done enough damage, this thing will try to go into a second phase where it will shoot out icy spikes in cardinal and ordinate directions. We're not going to let that happen. Not in this run. On to part 2. And part 2 does the unthinkable by actually giving you a different song to listen to. Definitely my favorite of the 2 they use in this one, no doubt. Anyway, somehow these enemies wound up getting frozen in the ice blocks. If you cut them open, they will go right back to attacking, so be careful. Most annoying type to deal with here are those blue floating enemies, because they will shoot at you, just like they did in Split Mushroom stage. Although they, more or less, target your position instead of just shooting randomly in a few directions. The mines will explode vertically too, so you gotta make sure you're far enough back that you don't get hit by them. It's not too big of a deal. Again, we have the Z-Saber's shot erasing ability there, so I'm not really worried about what's trapped in the ice in this part. Although that weapon tank's nice. Let's take it. Yeah, keep it in the top path is how you get that one really easily. Zero's sword makes it way easier to stay up top rather than with X. The other enemy type we're going to see are these little birds that are going to freeze the air around us, and they're going to cause some trouble. Ground becomes a little more slick, and those stalactites will drop from the ceiling. Also, if you just saw there, that Met, when we attacked him, he threw out a needle of ice to the right after we took him down. He would have done that all around us if we didn't have that shot erasing ability. So it's a good thing we took care of that bird brain last time to get that technique. Whew. It's always a little tricky in some of these spots because you don't know whether to stop or go. This is one area where it gets really difficult because, whoa, that was a close call. Because, you know, we're trying to do a perfect run for some reason. Even if the air gets frozen over, you can still do wall jumps in this section, so that's nice. And once you get through, you're already at the shutter. Wasn't too long of a second half, but it is longer than some of them. I don't think this stage is too hard, but it does have its moments. You just gotta be a little slow, and then go. And it's about time for some snow. Okay, that's one of my favorite conversations in the game right there. Anywho, Frost Walrus is gonna slowly, I mean slowly, walk towards us before either deciding to slide along the ground or jump at us. He'll do this for the first part of the fight. Just make sure that once he starts pounding his fist that you get back and out of harm's way before he comes either sliding or jumping in. After a little bit, he's gonna change the pattern up, probably around the halfway point. And that's when he's going to send some icy stalactites out from his shoulders that will land on the ground. You can cut them up with Z-Saber. Frost Walrus can take them out with his big body. He's got one more attack in his desperation phase, and that is to start breathing frost out of his mouth to turn into an icicle. Punch his fists together on said ice to create a round of spiky ice balls. Again, use your saber to destroy them. Kind of an annoying attack because you have to get back once he starts breathing. Eventually, though, he's going to go back to his basic walk and get owned phase. That's when you want to make sure you deal the most damage to him. Ryunjin, again, does so much damage here. We're not going to use it on him, though, because we're trying to not use the weaknesses that much the first time around. Gotta make him think they have a chance and all that. Oh man, this is going to be a tough one. Oh, just fit in the gap there. And sure enough, once he gets done with this attack, we're going to finish this one off. Come here. Get going. Not exactly the hardest fight in the game. And not the easiest one to talk about because there wasn't too much going on. But yeah, I think that's it. So, can we get out of here now? Because maybe it's cold outside. And inside. Hyouretsuzan, Ice Fury Slash. Now, that's a bit of a misnomer on that last word because this isn't a slash at all. Zero instead turns his beam saber into a giant icicle while in midair and drives it down into the skull of any enemy below him. Pretty cool attack, huh? Well, kinda cold. Even cooler is the fact that you can control your horizontal movement while descending from this, just in case you need to close in or pull back to hit the mark or get out of harm's way. Now, that's a good move and all, but we kinda got it a little too late for it to be as effective as it could have been. It was a slippery slope at times, at least before it turned into an ice block cavern level, but Zero managed to speed his way through that snowstorm in one piece. Everything appears fine, but I just want to make sure that this guy's circuitry hasn't slowed down too much from the cold we were just in. I think we're going to run a little speed test on him next time, an internet speed test. The World Wide Web awaits next time on Mega Man X4. Peace.